Gentle people, what's up? This is Ladybeofficial. How are you doing? It is Saturday, November 22. As a matter of fact, it's not Saturday, no, it's Sunday because it is 12 or 1-ish. But right now, me couldn't go sleep without doing a live or doing a video because at the end of the day, I'm telling you guys, you know, because it is a lot going on, but people, we are going to keep the faith. Just keep pushing. So right now I'm gonna talk about a few things. I'm gonna talk about Sean Paul, Kemar McGregor, Vybz Kartel, Rosalee and GX. Yes, people, Rosalee and GX. You saying about restaurant being burnt down? Oh my God, I cannot believe it. Because then I find out that wait, I'll do this. Why disappear? Fathers. Mirated. We can't believe so that they play a video. I see me a good video. Yeah. No. Yes, exit. Alright. So, like I said, I am going to talk about these. I have some short video clips I'm going to show. And then I'm going to call it an evening. So I shouldn't be up here more than maybe 20 minutes. All right. So I know that a lot of artists are doing all they can to help the Jamaicans in Jamaica, those who have been affected by the hurricane, and not just artists but other persons, vloggers, people who have their families there. They're putting stuff together to help their families. So right now, I saw where Sean Paul is doing it. I think Sean Paul has now started helping with the building up process. I saw where Kemar McGregor, Vybz Kartel, and a whole bunch of people are helping Jamaicans to get back on their feet, and we really appreciate all that. So I also saw where the Prime Minister of Jamaica was giving some information as to how the housing situation is gonna be done, and hopefully I get to that video as well. If not, I will get to it another time. So we're going to start off, like I said, with Sean Paul as he update people on what is going on in his endeavor.
Never send back again until the place built. You understand?
Alright, hold on there.
We are trying to sprinkle it every week. Well, last week when I was here, I tell you I'm going to forward back. Next week I'm going to send back again until the place built. You understand? Reason why yes at first, in certain terms, you know it's the hub. You know, say people need that for their moral. When we pass through yes and see one table, remember hard job come and say, yo, we can't even buy the soup or so I feel good for now, say right now we are built back. Alright, I'm promising the last week, I'm there now. So I don't want nobody feel like they get left off because the next week did it and the next week did it. You understand? We are build back the place. Put where we are give into this up. Make yes can be back at economic hub and make back money, please. That's what we are at. So we like to see the progress, we've seen it, and we are cleaning up the beach, and we just want to make them know, say, straight love. Then, that's that we are dealing with. No farmer, no problem, no politics against this or that, or the straight love.
And remember again, please, when you use the product them and fix up the shop them, we can pass and see the thing look good and see some greatness.
Yeah, man.
We're going to check on any house on have a match down. We're going to check on that.
That's
but them goods that we want to get right now, have to build up the shop then.
I'm fixing here, so it's not just, it help a lot of people moral to see about the place,
see about the place
full and vibrant. So make we do it.
That's
Make we
true.
do it, yeah?
To do it together. So the mission is to build back the place. Alright, build back border. What's the mission? Build back border. What's the mission? Build back border.
So this is a good move because basically what Sean Paul is saying that building up back the area where people would pass and purchase stuff and all of that, it will help to boost their morale. Yes, and I agree with that 100% because it is already sad to see the devastation. But once you see where things are happening and business places are getting back on their feet and you drive a certain place and if you used to see a lot of people selling and you realize nobody's there, it really is depressing. So I really like this endeavor where they say they're building back the business places where people pass, they can see um goods to purchase, food to purchase. I think border in St. Elizabeth or Westmoreland. I don't remember where exactly that is, but yeah, so that's a very, very good look. So we have to say big up to Sean Paul. And also I saw where I think that was a thought that Andrew Olness mentioned because he's saying that he wanted the JPS people to put the electricity in the Montego Bay area, which is the tourist hub. And when that is done, that will help to enhance the place. And I think it will also build the morale of the people because once you drive through, I haven't been to Jamaica yet, but I've sisters who've been there. And once you drive through that area and you see the dismal, you see the depression, it's like it is really, really sad and it can work on the emotions. So once those places are coming up and running, then it will also help to, as Sean Paul said, boost the morale of the people, give them hope, give them encouragement, and give them a way in which they can say, okay, it might be long, but it won't be forever. Because one thing we know about us Jamaicans, we are resilient. We like to enjoy ourselves. We like to have fun. And that's one thing that I started kind of doing. Instead of coming on my TikTok and just talking about working, I'm just doing a variety of things because your whole life don't surround around that. Yes, we want to have a drive. Yes, we're doing what we can. Yes, we're putting our stuff together to send back home. But as it is right now, sometimes we just have to um, remember that being depressed about a situation is not going to help the situation. We have to build a vibe. We have to build the positivity, like I said, that's how it is. So I like what Sean Paul said about building back the border, making sure that things are up and running so that people will feel good. Like you drive past there, you can say, oh my God, look at how depressing it is. Not even one person to buy from. But when they start putting those things together and people are passing through, they see that, oh yes, the country is coming back together. And I think it's going to be bigger and better than it ever was because some of those structures that were destroyed, now we know, now Andrew know, whoever is the housing person know that those structures people can't live under zinc and all that and in proper living conditions because if a forceful wind comes it's gonna affect them. So it's probably a wake-up call for Andrew Olness, to kind of focus on some other things. All right, so that was Sean Paul. Now, next up, we're gonna have Kemar McGregor. I've been watching some videos that he had, even though I haven't put out any video in a while, and that's only because happy Saturday. God bless. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day too. Thank you so much. Um, what was I gonna say? Yes, I've been watching some of his videos where he was gathering stuff, gathering supplies, relief items to bring to Jamaica. I saw where he had Starlinks and some other things too. Um, and me have to say enough respect to all those who are really, really helping. And I would like to say a lot of persons are helping behind the scenes and some are helping right there on the scene. And it doesn't matter how you help, because sometimes people be saying like, oh, how come I don't see that artist doing anything? Every artists are not the same, and everybody don't really want have to everybody don't want to put their stuff out there, like so I'm just saying that people are helping quietly, and some people are just they like to do the camera thing like me. I like to do the videos. I like to do the pictures, because if somebody give me something, and I want to be sure that they know that whatever you contribute goes towards the relief effort. So when I'm packing the barrel next week, I'll be doing it probably live on TikTok, and then I'll do a video put on YouTube. But I would really want persons who have contributed to my cause know exactly that yes, these things are sent, they are packed in a barrel, and they are sent to Jamaica, right? So nothing is wrong with showing, like a lot of people think that, oh, you don't have to show everything. I mean, you don't have to, but it's a choice. If you want to show, you show. If you don't want to show, you don't. It's a choice that you can make. All right, so let's hear from Kamar McGregor as he talks about his efforts to help the Jamaicans who have been affected by Hurricane Melissa.
The Billboard King producer, Billboard King Foundation. We have just touched down in Kingston, Jamaica, ready to unload everything on this 737 for all and everyone who's affected by Hurricane Melissa. I've been doing this now for 10 days. I haven't slept, none at all. Work hard to ensure that this plane full with things that is needed right here in Jamaica. The work just begun. I feel your pain, I hear you cry, and now it's time for us to do what we can. Love you. Let's touch the road.
Say other people, that is Kema.
Big up Brickstown TV. Yeah, so that's Kamar McGregor. Um as he talks about what he's doing to give back. All right. Also, like I just mentioned that some people like to take pictures to show what they're doing, and some don't. And it's up to you what you want to do. You get what I'm saying? It's up to you if you want to take pictures or if you don't want to take pictures. All right. I saw this video of the Black River Hospital that was I saw this video of the Black River Hospital that is now like a mobile. They set up a mobile hospital. These are some people from overseas that went to Jamaica. To set up. It's called Samaritan's Purse. Yes. So it has music in there. So I don't want it to
treatment,
mess up my
operating
video.
theater. It's just amazing. Their own pharmacy.
Let me start it over.
So we are very pleased to have Samaritan's Purse here. We have a 30-bed facility, operating theater. We have a staff, and it's really a full setup. I mean, accommodation, water treatment, operating theater. It's just amazing. Their own pharmacy. So this is a collaborative effort, but what they have done here is fill a void for the people of St. Elizabeth. So.
Yeah.
Over the next
number of weeks, we're going to transition this hospital. And we're going to leave this in 6 to 8 weeks, and you guys are going to have it all.
Good. We appreciate that.
So step in for
Good
the next 2
morning.
weeks, 2 weeks. Take the pressure off. You guys can rebuild the hospital, primary carriers, your own homes,
Right.
and then come in and take over the.
Yeah, so I want to say, thanks to Samaritan's Purse, because the hospital has been damaged, like really really great damage. And I have a friend who he's a doctor at one of the hospitals, and I'm like, it's just ridiculous, it's crazy. So I'm glad these people were able to support the cause and run to the rescue. I got this picture today. Well, I saw this picture today. This is a picture of one of the schools that was the top blew off. But this is a good picture, because the other picture, what are these? Wait, did they I think they start putting it back on. I don't even know. Anyway, so this is a like I said earlier, some people who are giving, they want to they take pictures, some don't. This is what a brother here, Nesbeth, who is calling. Nesbeth has something to say about Kosoke mother. Yo, I was there, people that draw me up. When they don't draw me up, man. Ciao. Anyway, me I forgot cut out that and edit that out me I forgot edit that out when me after me release it. Now come up and tell me about whatever. Go tell your mama so. Ciao. Anyway, so Nesbeth is about to give his take on who if it's your choice that you wanna take a picture or do a video or whatever it is you wanna do, if it's your choice. You see how them people that they draw me up make me a cross. I mean I got picking in one. I tell you, if you follow some of them people, man, sure. If you follow some of them people, man, they make them dry you out, brother. You don't want nobody draw me out, brother. You don't want nobody draw me out. Don't draw me out. Alright, so I'm gonna pull up the next video. What happened to this? Alright, hold on. The eyes vibrate, man. Rich and kept. We're not attained by sudden flight. They while their companions slept were toiling upwards through the night. Alright, so we wanna say it's sad to hear that you're saying about restaurant was burnt down because I was burnt, I was destroyed by fire. Because I got to understand that it was one of the restaurant. It was the place that the World Central Kitchen, I saw in name, that did their prep for the meal. You see the big pot of food where they have a cook. Yes, that's where I get to understand. If I'm wrong, correct me. But that's where I get to understand that they were prepping. They were doing their meal prep. Because you know, if you are going to do your curry goat, you have to prep your meal and season it a couple days before. So that's what I heard. That was where they were doing the meal prep. So, you know, it's just a sad situation for that to happen. Um I just hope that they will find another place. And I know you're saying both his place has to be insured because me know say him a know Claffy. So hopefully he can get his insurance money to fix back his restaurant. But I mean I know it is very, very sad. Mm-mm-mm. This look like Alan Bamboo. Here's another video with Kimar McGregor driving. Where am I go? Like Kimar. This is Alan Bamboo, you know, brother. It's like he's going to St. Elizabeth. I don't want nobody troll my channel, you know. I don't want no troll on my channel. This is Kimar McGregor, guys. Going to places that was hit by the storm, by the hurricane. I'm not gonna play the music. So he and his crew brought stuff. I think that has to be St. Elizabeth because that's Holland bamboo. All them bamboo that we blow down. Oh my God. So those persons who don't know Holland bamboo is a long stretch of bamboo that overlaps each other like arch. And you just drive through it. Wait, let me chat there. Chat. Anybody chat no fucker on my channel, me they block on our fight. I say Holland Bamboo is a place in Jamaica. What is wrong with you people? Anyways, so this is a picture of, this is 700 pounds of brown stew. This is the World Central. Could them big pot, all those big pots reach Jamaica? I ship, then shipping, you know? Look at that. Oh my gosh. So that's 700 pounds of brown stew chicken. And that's the rest of, that's, well, this is actually 4 days ago. And this is the World Central Kitchen that's feeding people. Over 30,000 people a day.
Hello, Israel family. My name is Jeffrey Campbell.
I think they said 30,000 family a day. So what an unfortunate situation with what's going on in Jamaica, because they said leptospirosis is in Jamaica, like there's an outbreak of the disease, you know, and it's sad. I just hope that people are cautious when they are cleaning up, because they said it's caused by rat rat feces in water. It becomes contaminated, and if it touches your body, or if you happen to like accidentally ingest it, it can affect you, and you can get leptospirosis. Oh my gosh. But we don't know one thing or the next. God just shine your light on Jamaica. Alright, you're saying about Track and Records restaurant, St. James, extensively damaged by fire. I'm a quick hear with them on here of the investigator say.
AM, the Montego Fire Station received and responded. My name is O'Neill Carr. I'm the acting superintendent in charge of fire investigation for the Jamaica Fire Brigade.
Can you tell us what happened here?
All right, so at approximately 1:48 a.m., the Montego Bay Fire Station received and responded to a call of building fire. Upon arrival, the team observed fire coming from the roof of the Tracks and Records. The team immediately got into operation, and within a few minutes, the situation was brought under control. Currently on the scene, the fire investigators are here, going through the rubbles, conducting various interviews, and to ascertain the probable cause as to the situation.
Do you know the extent of the damage?
Based on observation thus far, the extent of damage can be considered to be significant, but as it relates to getting the property owners to do their evaluation of the items that they have stored, but based on observation, the extent appears to be significant.
Is it upstairs and downstairs that has been damaged, or just the upper level of the restaurant?
All right, so Trucks and Records would have operated a two-story section of this property. The fire was confined to the upper floors, which houses the dining, the bar, and restrooms, and an office space.
Do you know if there were persons inside the restaurant when the fire occurred?
The restaurant at the time of the fire was not operable, and so no one was within the space. No business operation was taking place at the time.
But staff were here?
There were staff members on the property downstairs when the alarm was activated that there was fire coming from the top.
So we know where it started?
Well, again, the investigators are here, and we are going through the rubbles. We are doing our various interviews to ascertain what is the probable cause of this situation.
We have heard that the fire started immediately after the restaurant went back on the JPS grid. Were you told this in the report that you have received so far?
Well, the truth be told, as fire investigators, we are trained to listen to all of the arguments that are out there, but we base our hypothesis based on
Evidence
on the ground. So therefore, whatever we would have heard, we would have noted it, but we are solely dependent on the scientific evidence that exists on the scene. At this point, it is an active investigation. Therefore, as it relates to probable cause, we cannot speak to, because it is an active investigation that is underway. We're quite happy for the restoration of power across the island, certainly, being we're not used to being in the dark for so long. So the restoration of power is something that we really look forward to, but as a precautionary measure to homeowners and to residents in general, please bear in mind that during the passage of Hurricane Melissa, our electrical systems would have been stressed. There would have been aspects of moisture lingering at the connecting points. There would have been aspects of loose connections based on the fact of downed trees, So on our service lines that goes to our premises, there might be challenges along these ways. So we have to do our independent, our private inspection of our personal space as homeowners to ensure that our systems have a certified electrician come to your residence, come to your business place, do an inspection to ensure that my place is ready so that when the JPS returns its power, we are ready to receive that power.
Wow. So, rumor has it, or it is alleged that it was just after Usain Bolt got back electricity when the fire erupted. So they're not sure what relationship that has with the fire, but as they said, it's an active investigation. It's an active investigation. Yes, brother. I'm telling you, it is. We're not on one thing or the next thing. All right, let's see what's next on the topic, because I'm not going to do all of this tonight. As you can see, I'm very sleepy. All right, let's listen to. Let me see if we can listen to. If we can see what Andrew has said. An update with Andrew Holness regarding the housing situation. I'm sleepy.
And then eventually that will be rolled into an augmented path program where persons who are in need of this kind of relief over an extended period.
So basically what the Prime Minister of Jamaica is saying, was the Honorable Andrew Holness, he's saying that time to come there will be a situation where accountability is gonna be a priority, and the persons, instead of just packing a bag and bring it to the persons, then they will, it will be like a voucher type situation, so that they can probably keep a tab on who's getting what and who are getting help. So, let's listen to what Andrew Holness have to say. And I think I'm gonna close off the video with this because I am sleepy.
Can be supported seamlessly. All right? So we are trying to return to normalcy as quickly as possible. For that to happen, we need to support businesses. And what is the purpose of a business? Purpose of a business is to make a profit. So government has to be very careful in how it supports business. Yes, there may be times when government gives a grant, and there are considerations as to how we can help. I know the DBJ is considering how we can help businesses get back on their feet, and government is considering how that will work. In another press briefing, we will go into more details about that. But in my last press briefing, I mentioned, and pardon me for thinking that it would be readily understood by all, that we would support profit-making entities by loaning them generators or Starlink communication devices so that they can start operations, so that we can transition from everyday packing a bag, loading it on a truck, driving it to an area, then we have to have security to protect it, and then we have to take the soldiers to go out and give it, to a simpler way, which gives people dignity. You don't have to go and stand up in line and waiting to get. Secondly, gives people choice. because you start to hear it already. You know, tired of what is in the bag. All right, I don't want any more bag, carry something else come. And we start to hear that coming already. So transitioning back to normalcy restores dignity. It gives choice. But the biggest thing for us, the biggest advantage, it gives accountability. Let me be clear. All of what we have given out so far, the accountability rests on what countries have given to us and what we have recorded in our stores and what we have once we get the shops and stores up and running. And then eventually that will be rolled into an augmented path program where persons who are in need of this kind of relief over an extended period of time can be supported seamlessly. All right? So we are trying to return to normalcy as quickly as possible. For that to happen, we need to support businesses. And what is the purpose of a business? Purpose of a business is to make a profit. So government has to be very careful in how it supports business. Yes, there may be times when government gives a grant and there are considerations as to how we can help. I know the DBJ is considering how we can help businesses get back on their feet, and government is considering how that will work. In another press briefing, we will go into more details about that. But in my last press briefing, I mentioned, and pardon me for thinking that it would be readily understood by all, that we would support profit-making entities by loaning them generators or Starlink communication devices so that they can start operations, so that we can transition from everyday packing a bag, loading it on a truck, driving it to an area, then we have to have security to protect it, and that these are used in the public good and loan or a grant to businesses that we are trying to stand up. Housing and shelter. Now, this is what I know most Jamaicans want to hear about. Now, as was said before by Leela, this is the largest devastation in the recent history of Jamaica, certainly in our independence history. No government has ever had to deal with the magnitude of this devastation. $8.6 billion, 8.8. You know, we had estimated in the first tabletop assessment 6 to 8, but the recent, I know when the country hears 8.8 billion US dollars, there are those who may say, boy, this is the reggae boys match all over again. No, there's victory inside. There's hope, there's victory inside, there's victory inside, yes. Not all of that $8.8 billion, or whatever it may end up being when the final assessment is done, is on the account of the government. A large part of that would be private assets that have been destroyed. The hotels, we've seen some farms destroyed, manufacturing, private homes. Some of these are insured. So there is likely to be an inflow of insurance resources to treat with those. The residential structures that are destroyed, it couldn't be expected that the government will assist in the rebuilding and reconstruction of 150,000 homes. There are some Jamaicans who already have rebuilt their homes in terms of putting on their roofs, and they're not waiting on government. And they're going to go ahead and they may not have it. They might very well be, poor persons who just don't have it, but they are independent people and they're just not going to wait on government. They're going to go ahead and do what they can. And then there are those who simply do not have the resources to rebuild. And the government will have to assist in that. They simply just don't have it.
Right.
So you have the two extremes. Those who are independent and who will move ahead, and those who are completely dependent on the resources of the state to assist. And then there are some in the middle who have some of it, but they need government's help to get them along the way. So that gives you the kind of shape as to how government will respond. For those who have it
Thanks
and
for
are
the
going
like.
to independently repair their homes,
Thanks for liking the
repair their
live.
businesses, government must not stand in the way. Accelerated processes for the rebuilding. For those who need partial help and support, we will have to have a system in place where the cases are properly assessed and there is a mechanism that provides the assistance. And then for those who definitely can't do it, don't have any support, then we will also have to consider, in addition to the rebuilding support, we have to consider some relief
I'll be a troll
support
upon me
for them.
live.
So in the
We're gonna
first
chuck off somewhere
phase,
now.
the goal is to quickly stabilize households and make damaged homes livable with longer-term rebuilding plans, while longer-term rebuilding plans are put in place. And so this will include distribution of shelter kits, heavy-duty tarpaulins, shrink-wrap roofing solutions, and emergency repair materials. And that will be provided to those persons who, by our assessment, we know they definitely cannot rebuild. That assessment is underway. The Minister of Labour and Social Security has reported to me that they have done just over 16,000 assessments across the island so far. So they have a little way to go, but we're going to ramp up, as I said earlier, the core of assessors so that we can do this very rapidly.
What's up?
But remember when I spoke of the supply chain that JDF has established? We're going to use this supply chain to bring the materials in and to distribute them to those who are in need. So it's a repurposing of the supply chain, as I had said, to now go and do this level of rebuilding and supporting the relief.
File your truck taxes with no hidden fees ever. E-Form 229.
Really?
This is appropriate for the Jamaican situation that we now have. There are different types, different versions, and so I've met with the NHD, and the NHD has provided us with a solution that they are presently working on. At a later stage, we'll go into more details, but the plan is for, in the initial phase, for the NHD to purchase 5,000 container homes. And those will be, some of them will be for sale. So with a program with the NHD, you will be able to purchase. Some of them will be used to build housing schemes, which you can purchase. And a portion of them will be made available through social housing. The government itself We'll also be purchasing some of these containerized housing solutions, which will be made available through the social housing modality. So effectively, we have to do a rapid deployment of housing solutions. And the easiest way to do this is to use the containerized solutions. They do take some time to arrive in Jamaica. There's just certainly not the quantity to make an impact. So we have met and discussed it. We have taken the policy decision that these can be used. And so the process of acquiring them through the procurement process, they have been given the approval to move ahead with that. So that should start in short order. You know, we are not going to get them here for Christmas. I just have to be frank with everybody. But we should start to see some coming in by late January. And those that come in initially, we are going to be looking at the worst cases assessed to make them available. For Christmas and for the initial stages, we're going to have to try to do the shelter repair kits, the heavy duty tarpaulins, and those kinds of solutions, in addition to the rebuilding, the actual putting on roofs and so forth, as much of that as we can in the coming weeks leading up to Christmas. But the containerized solution does take some time. The shipping is between 30 to 90 days, just that alone. Then there is some procurement and other administrative and bureaucratic things that might take up the time. So we're really trying to cut it as quickly as possible, as short as possible. But even with the best efforts, there may be some challenges. Yes, the government will give rebuilding grants. I cannot say how much those will be or the categories right now. I mean, we have decided on the category. The burial framework will apply: minor, moderate, and severe. But that needs an assessment. And so that's what is kind of holding us up, why we can't pay yet. Now, we're not going to wait until we have assessed every single house. But we do need to reach a critical threshold where we begin to see how the damage is stacking up from a statistical point of view. So we know how much to allocate for minor repairs, how much to allocate for moderate repairs, and how much to allocate for severe. And we actually need the report so that we can establish the threshold. What exactly is minor? What exactly is moderate? And what exactly range is severe?
All right, so that was Andrew Olness giving his take on the process of giving vouchers and also how the housing situation is going to be handled. He said they're going to be doing their evaluation to see what level each household is, if it's severe or moderate or in between, and how funds are allocated to take care of that. I am very sleepy, so I'm gonna end this live here. Thank you guys for checking in. Go ahead, check out my Instagram, my TikTok. I'll be on TikTok a lot, playing music and stuff like that. So you can check out and cook. Like I cooked this afternoon and I was up there for a long time. Sometimes I download those videos, but on my YouTube channel, I probably won't do it. If it has music in there, I can't do it. But anyway, big up on yourself. Thank you for watching and stay safe.